What's up, guys? Today's video is going to be a story time. I'm going to be telling you about the time that my own dog attacked me and almost bit my top lip off. Okay, so this happened actually 2 years ago today, January 9th, during the national championship football game. I will never forget this. It was around 11 o'clock at night. The game was about to be over with. Me and my family had went to Cracker Barrel earlier in the day. We had gone pageant dress shopping because my pageant was actually that coming weekend. So we went pageant dress shopping, and then we went to eat at Cracker Barrel. I never eat all my food, so I got a to-go box and I took it home with me. And at the end of the game, of course, I was hungry again, so I got my leftovers and I started eating it. Well, my dog, he was a lab and pit mix, I think. Oh, I'm trying not to cry. We got him at a Walmart parking lot. My older sister did. He was completely free, and he was honestly the best dog that I've ever had in my life. Sadly, he did pass away about 6 or 7 months ago due to a flea pill that the vet gave him. He had a seizure and died, and it's super sad, and if I think about it long enough, I'll cry because that dog was my best friend. But so anyways, 2 years ago, I was just sitting on the couch eating, and I hear a noise behind the couch that I'm sitting on, and it sounds like my dog has something he shouldn't have. So I go around the other side of the couch and I look at him, and he has like a wrapper, like a cheese wrapper. I don't know where or how he got it, but obviously he's not supposed to be chewing on it. So I was like, I need to try and get it from him. Well, I sat there for a little bit longer and was eating my food and was watching the end of the football game. Well, then it was a commercial and I still heard him chewing on it. So I leaned over. It's really hard to explain. So I'm sitting on the couch right here, and the dog is behind the couch, and he doesn't see me. He doesn't know what's going on, and his head is this way and his body is out of the couch, so I could like see his body but not his head. So I leaned over the couch and I just saw his body, kind of patted him on the back. I was like, Scout, you need to stop. And my little sister Kara was in there, and she was like, you need to stop or he's gonna bite you. This dog was not vicious in any way, shape, or form. He was the sweetest, most lovable dog. Anyways, he was just the best dog in the world. He was so loving. He was 70 pounds and just wanted to be in your lap all the time. He loved to cuddle. He slept with me like every single night. So not a vicious dog at all, even with other dogs, because we have another dog. He's a small dog. He's a Maltese. They got along. He was never vicious, never. Sweetest dog. My little sister was like, you better stop, he's gonna bite you. And we were like laughing about it, and like I never thought he would actually bite me. And I wasn't like, Scout, stop, like scaring him or anything. I like slowly patted him on the back and was like, Scout, you need to stop, buddy. Like you don't need to be chewing on that. And I take full blame for it. Is all my fault. I should have not messed with him, shouldn't have touched him. I either scared him, or I think he thought that I was my other dog trying to get the food that he had from him. So and like I'm that way with food. If people try and take my food, I get vicious and I get mad. So I mean, I take full blame for it. So I pat him on the back, and he kind of like clenched up, like didn't move at all, and that kind of scared me. I was like, what's happening? So he turned around and jumped on me and snapped at me twice and bit the top of my lip. I don't know if you could see the scar. It's there. So immediately I'm like in shock. I didn't even feel it. Like it didn't even hurt because it happened so fast. And I was like, what just happened? I was so confused and scared. I was looking down this way because I was leaning over the couch to like see what he was doing, and I was leaning over, and then he jumped on me, so I was still leaning over. So I got back up, and he made like the scariest noises when he like came after me. He like was growling. I was turned over this way, and my little sister was laughing because she didn't know what had happened. And she was like, I told you he's gonna get mad at you. And you know, she didn't think he actually bit me because he's the sweetest dog ever. And I turned around and I was like this, and blood started dripping through my hands, and I like let go and blood was everywhere, and Kara's face just was like, it looked like she saw a ghost. She ran to my parents' room, was like, Scout bit Kayla so bad, Scout bit Kayla so bad. And you know, my mom and dad are like, what's happening? And I go running in there and my hands are all bloody. I'm freaking out. I'm like in shock, don't know if I have a top lip or not. And my mom was like, oh my goodness, and jumps up, you know, they're freaking out, and I'm like freaking out. I'm not even crying yet. I'm just like, what just happened? Do I have a top lip still? Like, what is going on? And the first thing my dad does is run to the living room to get Scout, and he spanks him and, you know, kicks him, yells at him, puts him outside, and I hear him doing that, and that makes me really sad. You know, the first thing my parents said was like, we're getting rid of him, we're not keeping him, like, we're getting rid of this dog, like, freaking out. And I was begging them before I even knew if I had a top lip or not, because I still haven't looked at it, and I was begging them, like, please, I don't want to get rid of him, like, I love him so much, please, I want to keep him, I don't care, it was my fault. And then I like start choking on the blood because there's so much blood. So my mom was like, take her to talking to my dad, because my dad came back from putting Scout outside and everything. So my mom had called my Nana and was telling her like what was going on, telling her like, we don't know what to do, we're freaking out, we've never had anything like this happen, we're gonna go to the emergency room, she needs stitches. So I still don't know what my lip looks like at this point. Then I start choking on the blood, and I'm still not crying. I'm still like in shock. Well, my mom was like, Robbie, take her to the bathroom and get her all cleaned up, let her spit the blood out. And I walk into the bathroom. I had ice on my lip too. They had already got me some ice, so I put some ice on it. And I go into the bathroom and I spit in the sink, and I look up in the mirror and I saw what it looked like for the first time. I just yelled, started screaming at the top of my lungs, like saying, I'm so ugly, I'm not gonna like ever look good in my life again, I'm gonna be so ugly for the rest of my life, I have no top lip, like I'm so ugly. Like I just kept yelling that over and over. And I just remember my mom running back in there and was like, Robbie, you're not supposed to let her look at it. And it's funny looking back at it now how crazy everybody was acting. Like no one knew what to do. No one could believe that that happened. So it kind of all set in at that point after I saw it that my lip is like really bad and I'm gonna have to go to the hospital and get stitches. So I was freaking out at that point, like hysterical crying. I still couldn't feel it. I just saw it. It was a big gash. I'm gonna insert some pictures right after it happened, and then like after I got the stitches, and I have a video of me getting stitches, so I'm just gonna show you that. I might put it at the end of the video. I don't know. I film off my phone, so I don't know how to do like, I'll put the picture here, I'll show you right now. Like I can't do that, so I'll just show you the pictures. Here we go. Okay, so we automatically get in the car, we're going to the hospital. My sister, my older sister, was living in Auburn at the time, so my mom texted her and told her what was going on, and she said that she flipped out, was crying, thought that it was really, really serious, which I mean it was, but she thought like he maybe had bit my eye or my neck or my nose. Like it could have been way worse, and I'm so thankful that it was just my lip. So my older sister was freaking out, you know, she couldn't be there with me. And I texted my boyfriend Jake and was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, Scout attacked me, he bit me on my face, it's really serious, I'm on my way to the emergency room right now, I love you, blah blah blah. And he was like, are you serious? And I sent him a picture of my lip and said, dead serious. And I'll insert the screenshot right here. told me, Alabama lost that game, by the way, and my boyfriend and his family are very, very big Alabama fans. So Alabama lost, and then right after Alabama lost, I had to text him that and tell him that I've been bit by my dog. And Jake loved my dog too, loved him, but he couldn't drive because he was so shaken up and worried. So he made his mom drive, and him and his mom drove down around midnight and met me at the hospital, and they were there with me while I got stitches. And I think my sister went to my grandmother's. She did. She went to my grandmother's, so she wasn't there. So it was my mom, my dad, my boyfriend, and his mom. They met us there, and of course seeing Jake made me feel a lot better. But I was really upset. First thing they did was put some numbing medicine on me and numb me up, and I literally couldn't feel a thing. Then they had to come in and give me a shot, like multiple shots on my lip, so when they did the stitches, I would not feel anything because I was freaking out about having to get stitches. I have very bad anxiety, so I was very anxious about everything that was happening, and I was just freaking out. And they gave me some medicine, like they gave me a shot in my lip, and it was like a huge needle. So when they came in with it, they told me to close my eyes, and so I closed my eyes and was just crying, and they gave me the shot, and the shot hurt really bad, but they gave me the shot, whatever, that I could open my eyes, and it kind of made me feel a little bit loopy. And they gave me a tetanus shot as well, and so yeah, I had a few shots. But the first doctor that came in undid the numbing. They had like a patch over me with numbing cream, so he undid that and looked at it, and his face was just like, and he put it back on. He said, "I'll be right back." And I had to go to the bathroom, so I walked out down the hall to go to the bathroom, and I looked over, and he was over there talking to another nurse, and he looked scared to death. Luckily, they called in a plastic surgeon to, of course, because it was my face, they called in a plastic surgeon, and he did literally an amazing job. He was so nice, and he worked with me being crazy because I thought I was dying. I was being super dramatic and was freaking out, but he did amazing, and he was so sweet. Did the stitches, and I couldn't feel a thing. But before he did the stitches, when they gave me the shots and everything, I promise you, it like went down my throat, and I couldn't feel my throat, and I felt like I couldn't breathe, and I started freaking out. And I was like, I can't breathe. It's like numbing my throat. I can't breathe. So they like checked my heart rate, checked everything, and they're like, Kayla, you're fine. Like nothing's wrong with your heart. You're breathing fine. You're just nervous for the stitches. So I was freaking out. But he did a great job, and it was just, he was awesome. But yeah, I got the stitches, and didn't feel anything. I was numbed up for the rest of the night pretty much. And you know, my mom was so upset, like was just crying as she saw me get the stitches. Like we couldn't believe this happened. I didn't leave the hospital until like 4:30 that morning. I remember I went through McDonald's drive-thru, and I got some chicken nuggets, but I couldn't eat them because I couldn't open my mouth because it was so tight. And yeah, so that was basically it. Then I didn't sleep at all for the rest of the night. When I got home from the emergency room, my dad let him inside, and he comes running in, and he's so excited to see everybody like he always used to get. Yeah, so my dad let him in. He comes running into the living room and like kind of jumps on me like he always does. And I like immediately start crying, and I'm freaking out, and I'm like, get him away from me, get him away from me. Like I was really scared of him. And he followed me in my room because he sleeps with me every night, so I'm sure he was getting ready to sleep with me. I was like, I don't want him in here with me, like I'm scared of him. And so he slept out in the living room, and my mom was like, Kayla, if like you can't be around him, if you're too scared, we're gonna have to give him away. Like you can't be scared of him, whatever. And I was like, I'll get better. Like it was just my first time seeing him after it happened. Well, I didn't sleep at all that night, and I get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and he is sitting in the he's sitting in the hallway and he sees me go to the bathroom, and he walks down the hallway, and he would always put his ears back whenever he was in trouble or knew he did something wrong. So he put his ears back and he started like slowly backing up like he knew what he did, and I knew he felt sorry. So of course I start crying, and I walk up to him and I sit on the couch, and he just comes up and sits right beside me and puts his head on my leg, and I just pet him and I start crying, and I'm talking to him, you know, like saying, I love you, it's okay, I know you didn't mean to do it. Like, we made up then, I was fine, I was like, I love you, like, we're best friends still, whatever. No, I never fell asleep, and my mom actually asked me if I could drive my sister to school, if there was any way I could drive her to school, because she had no other way, because I'm usually her ride every single day. So I was like, yeah, I should be fine to do that, like, I'm already awake, I didn't sleep, I should be good. Well, I was laying over on my side, like looking at my phone, and I felt something dripping, and I was like, I think my lip's bleeding. So I go to the bathroom, and my little sister's in the bathroom brushing her teeth, getting ready for school, and I walk in there, I look in the mirror to see like if I'm bleeding, and my lip is like out to here, and of course I start screaming and yelling, I'm freaking out, saying like, I'm so ugly, I'm like, my lip is so fat, I'm so ugly, I'm never gonna look like normal again. And like, I was screaming, and so Kara, my little sister, immediately calls my mom and was like, Kayla is freaking out, Mom, she's scaring me, I don't know what to do. So she gave me the phone, I talked to my mom calmed me down and was like, you're okay, you'll be okay, today's gonna be the worst day, you're gonna be super swollen, like you're gonna be okay. So my mom wound up coming home and taking Kara to school, but she wanted me to ride with her so I wouldn't be home alone looking at myself in the mirror making myself feel bad. So I went with them to drop Kara off. You know, I was just miserable, and I'm gonna put some pictures up of what it looked like the day after. Yeah, it was awful. Anyway, it took about 2 weeks for my stitches to fall out, and like my whole lip peeled. It was hard 2 weeks, but obviously I didn't get to do my senior pageant. I did go to it though with my lip looking all crazy, but senior pageant, I did go to it though with my lip looking all crazy, but I didn't get to do it, sadly, but it's fine. At least I have a lip still. I missed a week of school while I was recovering, and I went back, not a scar like this, but a scar that like peels off. So it was like brown and gross. I'll insert a video of me getting ready for school that morning right here. So yeah, then of course it got better and better each day. I like have a crooked smile. My smile obviously will never be the same. Some words that I say, I notice that my lip goes this way, like this, sometimes when I talk and when I smile. Obviously, it's recovered very well. It's been 2 years today, January 9th. I will never forget that day. I will never forget that dog. And I remember when I went back to school, so many people were like, did you kill that dog? Did you shoot him? Did you give him away? I was like, what is wrong with you people? Like, what is wrong with you? He was my best friend. I would never hurt that dog. I remember one of my teachers actually telling me that he would have dug a hole in his backyard, put a thing of ham down there, or bone or whatever, some type of food, so he would have his head down in the hole, and then he would shoot him in the back of the head. Why would you tell me that? I would never do that, ever. So we kept him and he never did anything like that ever again. You know, I never went around him ever again while he had something he wasn't supposed to have. Nobody did, but we kept him. I loved him even more. He was hands down the best dog I ever had, and I miss him a lot, and I wish he was still here. He was 5 years old. Yeah, that was the story of how I got attacked by my own dog. Again, I take full responsibility. I believe it was all my fault. I don't blame him. I loved him so much, and I'm so glad we didn't give him away. I'm so glad we didn't give him away. I cannot stop crying. But, yeah. I am healed. I've healed very well. I still have a ways to go. I put scar cream on every once in a while. It's supposed to help it. And with makeup on, you can like barely see it. I didn't put makeup on for this video because number one, I knew I'd probably cry, and I wanted you to be able to see it without makeup. So, I did not know that I was going to cry most of this video. I didn't know it was going to be this hard to film. But, yeah, that was the story of how my dog bit me. Very traumatic, very scary. Nothing like that has ever happened to anybody in my family. I was actually the first person in my family to ever have to have stitches. So, of course, my parents were freaking out. I was freaking out. Everyone was so nice to me, though. I got so many cards and text messages and phone calls, and my boyfriend was so amazing during that time. Brought me food, brought me flowers, stuffed animals, was just always with me to help me feel better, and always reminded me how beautiful I was. I'm still very insecure about it, but it has gotten so much better. Most of my Instagram pictures, I smooth it out so where you can't see it because I'm very insecure about it. But it makes me who I am. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!